Hi, and welcome back to this week's edition of Hawk Talk. I'm Gunnar Farsfeet.
I'm Mackenzie Groves.
And this week we have a brand new guest on the show, so how about you introduce yourself? What do you do here at DSU?
I'm Haley Van Beek, and I'm on the Student Senate at DSU, and I'm a senior.
Okay.
And where are you from?
I'm from Mandan, North Dakota.
So, fairly local, so
Yeah.
good. Well, we're glad to have you on,
So how did you, what brought you to join Student Senate?
Well, I just saw the emails about it, and I wanted to get involved into something. So when I applied to schools after my 4 years at DSU, it looks good, and then you can get involved in the school and what's going on in the school, and you can be a voice.
Yeah, I'm also on Student Senate, so yeah, I kind of get that.
Yeah.
Just being involved with the school, it's kind of interesting to see things firsthand.
well, good. So why don't you tell the people that don't know how the process of Student Senate goes and what does it do for the student community here at DSU? Why don't you just go into what the Student Senate does for the student body?
Well, the Student Senate, the president will come to us with something that's going on. Like when we did the movie theater, we got to vote and say, we think this is a good idea. And we all get our own vote into it, so, we all get our own say. And then the overall, whatever vote wins is what happens. And so just, with random things going on in the school, we just get to have a say in it, so.
Right, just to get to lead different projects and everything, I suppose. Well, good.
Do you think that it's important for there to be a student voice in the decisions? Have you felt that it's made an impact on the students at DSU using your voice in the Student Senate?
I think it is, because the faculty is faculty, so they don't get to see it from our point of view as students attending DSU. So we had a say in the tuitions. There's meetings about tuition, and we get to talk to one of the main people who comes up with the tuition for DSU. And so having a say in that is super important for students, because we're the ones who have to pay to go to school there. So
Yeah, that's very true.
So as far as with Student Center this spring, is there any plans in the works, different things that you've talked about introducing to campus at all?
Well, with Earth Day coming up, we are looking to plant some trees and do some Earth Day things and do some maintenance around the campus to make sure that the campus is still looking nice and just be better to the earth around our campus. So, and we also just had applications, so pretty soon we're going to be voting for who's going to be on Student Senate next year.
What would you tell a student that's kind of considering joining Student Senate? What would you say to kind of advocate for the Student Senate?
I mean, well, we became friends from Student
That's
Senate,
true.
so you can become friends, you can meet friends, and it's just fun, and you get to, the meetings aren't completely serious, it's not like you're sitting there bored out of your mind. They're actually interesting, and it's pretty fun sometimes, so.
Yeah, I can vouch for that. So we do actually have the privilege of President Eason being our advisor. So can you kind of talk about that, how that's affected us being really more involved with the decisions made at the school, I guess?
Well, at the meetings, President Eason is at every single meeting, so he comes with, before with the mask mandates and stuff, we were a big part of talking to President Eason about that and getting information for our fellow students. So when people had questions, they could come to us with what we knew, basically what he knew at that point in time. So that was really cool to be that big of an impact in that part of the school. And he is obviously the president of the school, so he has the biggest say, and when he comes to our meetings, he brings up things that have been brought up to him, he brings up to us, so we can take action or decide if that's not a good idea and stuff like that.
Yeah, and I do know that it is your first year on Student Senate, so I can vouch for that, saying we used to have different advisors, and they were all great, but it's kind of exciting to have the president, like you said, what he knows, we also know right away. And so it's kind of fun to be right on that decision-making mark of things, I guess, and really help. I feel like we've really made a difference for students this year, I guess, with COVID and everything.
Yeah, absolutely. So I guess with the application for this year for Student Senate has already passed, but if there's anybody out there in the campus community that's considering applying for Student Senate, walk us through that process if they're interested the next go around.
Well, anybody can sit in on the meetings. So they do the meetings through Blackboard, and they also meet on Fridays at 1. So anyone can come. You don't have to be a part of the Student Senate. So you can come and join and see what it's all about without like making the commitment. And then if you enjoy it next year, there's more applications. So.
Good. Now, is that every semester or every school year total that you have new elections?
We have new elections, like, it kind of depends. If we have enough senators to fill the whole school year, then we only do the one time a year. But, like, last year we didn't have, I think we had one freshman senator, so then we made it available again at semester to vote in more freshman senators. But it is mostly a yearly thing, and it's just, we send out the application through email, so if you are interested, it is in your DSU email. We email the application out every year.
That's good. Well, in Hawk Talk, we like to ask, more, not as serious, kind of some fun questions on the show. So I guess if you had to pick a superpower to use to make the campus of Dickinson State better, what would you choose?
Oh man, that's a pretty hard one. To make the campus better, so if I was to pick a superpower overall, it'd probably be like flying or invisible. But to make the campus better would be that everyone was really smart, so they could all get good grades.
All right.
That would be an amazing superpower.
Yeah.
It would help for sure.
Okay, and I guess our final question, we ask everyone that comes on Hawk Talk, what does DSU mean to you?
DSU means family and friends. Like, it's a really close-knit school, and I really enjoy that about it. So
It's awesome. We get that answer a lot, but it's true.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, for sure, definitely a family environment, and it's great to see everybody come together. Everyone, they might not know each other coming to college, but there's a lot of relationships built, and it's a pretty special place.
Mm-hmm.
So, I guess, well, thank you, Haley, for coming on the show.
Thank
and,
you.
We'll be right back with our next guest.
Beautiful. Here come your Bulldogs. Steps into the throw, in the wind, down to the goal line, and caught! Touchdown, Blue Hawks!
And welcome back with our second guest of the week. So the guest on this week is Dane Allen. So Dane, how about you just tell us who you are and what you do here at DSU?
I'm Dane Allen. I'm a part of the track and field team. I'm a long jump, triple jump, and high jumper, and I'm from Bismarck, North Dakota.
So a little bit of a spring in your step, you'd like to say?
Yeah, I could say you could say that.
So Dane, why don't you talk about your journey to DSU? Recruiting process. Why you chose the school.
Honestly, end of high school, I just didn't really know where I wanted to go yet. So I was like, oh, just got family down here from my mom's side. So I'm like, oh, maybe I'll just go down there. So I did the recruit me. Coach Whitcop told me to come on an official visit, and first day for my visit, I just loved it. So I just signed then and there.
That's awesome.
Pretty easy decision.
Yes,
Mhm.
for sure.
So the jump squad for DSU, the men's jump squad, I should say, you guys are ranked #1 in the nation right now. Tell us a little bit about how that feels.
Just feels really cool because we got a fun group of guys. I don't know, it's just like a family, and just being able to see that we're #1 in the nation is just a big goal for us, because all of us want to qualify for nationals. But just seeing that just gives people a boost to try to work harder and try to get to that national qualifying mark.
For sure.
So I guess go into your mental prep before your jumps. I mean, you do 3 different events. You're very good at all of them. So is there anything special you do to prepare yourself?
Not really. I just pray and then just really talk to myself and just be like, hey, you got this. You've been doing this for 8 years now, I think. So I just tell myself just another day in the office, just like a job.
Oh, so just all business.
Yeah, just all business.
So this last week we did a weekend. We had a home meet, and it's kind of a big meet for you.
Mm-hmm.
Why don't you kind of elaborate on that for us?
Both my jumps, I did triple jump and a long jump, and I qualified for both of them. And it was just a really good moment for me because I finally got A standard in both of them. And then my parents, or my mom and my grandma were there to see it, and I was just really hoping they were able to see me succeed again.
Yeah, that's exciting.
Mm-hmm.
And for those that don't know, for track and field, the NAI releases qualifying standards, so you have an A standard and B standard. Hitting the A standard means it's a guaranteed trip to nationals, and each team is allowed 4 B standard athletes to take. So it's kind of a big deal for you to hit the A standard.
Mm-hmm.
It opens up a spot for somebody else to get the chance to go. So it's exciting for the Hawks, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely, yeah. Performing well.
Yeah.
So I guess, what is your favorite event? I know you do 3, but if you had to pick one that you like the most, what is it?
Oh God, that's a hard one. I'd probably have to say now long jump because that's my best event, and I'm just getting better at it now. I'm learning more of the techniques with it, and I don't know. I just really like to enjoy playing in the sand. Feel like a kid again.
Yeah. Now, which jump is the hardest technique-wise to accomplish?
I'd have to say triple jump because it's just so much. You have a cycle, and then just getting like the right, timing for like your second phase. And then just another thing with the third phase, you want to keep your leg up so you can get further. And it's just very technical event.
So yeah, a lot more goes into it than what you
Mhm.
just watch for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Just became a high jumper this past year. It's pretty hard.
No, I think I was definitely meant to stay grounded. So I'll just admire you guys when you take flight.
I feel that. Okay, so we asked some fun questions on Hawk Talk. So if you could try any other event in track and field at the collegiate level, what would it be?
I'd probably say pole vault
Yeah?
because that's just another one in the air where you're flying. And I don't know. I tried to do it in high school. My coach wouldn't let me. He just said, no, I don't want you to get hurt. So I'd probably want to do pole vault.
Yeah, I can see that. It's
Yeah.
kind of scary,
Yeah.
but I feel like it would be a fun event.
And you can ask your roommate Hoyt for some pointers. 'Cause
I can.
he's kind of good at it.
Yeah, he's kind of good.
Pretty decent.
So I guess the final question we ask everybody, but answers vary, but there's kind of a typical theme here. So I'm curious, what does DSU mean to you?
Ooh. DSU just feels like the second home for me. Just a lot of just the track athletes and other people around campus just feels like family. You have a bunch of friends that you can see. The professors here are just amazing. They're very understanding. If you have something that's going on, they'll understand it and they'll try to help you in any way they can.
So,
That was a good answer.
yes, it was. Yeah.
I do have one more question. I know you said it was the final one, but do you want to just throw a shout out for the Hawks? Just have people come out and watch our next meet. Just kind of tell them about it.
Yeah, you guys can come out. It's pretty fun. We jump over hurdles, jump over poles. We jump into sand. You can watch us make a sand castle maybe if the jumpers are onto it. And I don't know, it's just a fun time to get outside and just be in the fresh air.
Yeah.
Well,
Alrighty.
perfect. Well, Dan, appreciate you coming on the show.
Of course.
And Kenzie and I will be right back with the recap. And welcome back to this week's recap of all the different sports going on. So it's kind of a very busy season for DSU. So to open things off, baseball and softball both traveled to Aberdeen, South Dakota to play against Presentation. Baseball won their first game 17-1, very impressive performance. But game
Very
two was canceled due to the snow. Softball also won their first game 9-0, but also their game was canceled due to the snow, so they're both traveled back together. This coming Saturday, the Blue Hawk baseball team has their senior day at home. They're going to be honoring seniors Nathan Delhani, Carson Backer, and Joel Torres, as well as softball is playing this weekend at home also.
Yep, both at home against DSU, so Dakota State. So go out and support your Hawks, kind of see who the real DSU is out there.
Absolutely.
Golf also, their meet got moved, their home meet, so they competed yesterday. You can get those results on the DSU Blue Hawk site. They had a home meet, and it's kind of exciting if all the Hawks are at home here recently. The golf will also be traveling to their conference meet already. Seems like it shouldn't be coming up yet, but they will be in Viterbo for conference this next weekend. So also check the Blue Hawk website to see those results. Track, like we talked with Dane, it's kind of a busy last weekend for the Hawks. A lot of Hawks had some good marks.
Yes.
So Dane, like he said, he did qualify for Nationals A standard in the long and triple jump. Hoyt Sander, he qualified in pole vault A standard. Cleet Rosinski qualified in the HEP last week, and he was sitting first in the nation. He got bumped down a couple. He's now sitting third in the nation. Can't complain about it.
No.
Still pretty good.
No, it's still early yet.
Yes. Faith Brennan also qualified in the triple jump. Paxton Miller qualified in jav. So Martin Farver was named track athlete for the NSAA Track Athlete of the Week for the second time.
Yes.
Or
third time. I
third
believe.
time.
So yeah, he's really doing well on the track.
Yes. And then to finish it up, the Hawks do compete today at we have one more home meet, hopefully, but this could be our last home meet, so go out and support your Hawks. And football, what happened there?
DSU traveled to Orange City, Iowa to take on Northwestern College Red Raiders. The football unfortunately lost 31-7. Tough team in the opening round of the national playoffs. Did have a undefeated regular season, so had a great season, and we're gonna wrap everything up, and it's gonna go quick. We're gonna be right back here in August. So.
Yeah.
As well as football got back, and rodeo is now competing. Rodeo traveled to Black Hills to have their multi-meet. A lot of impressive results out of that meet. For further results, you can see everything on DSU Rodeo on Facebook. But as far as from Black Hills, the women's team won with their team score. Caden Clark won the bareback. Clay Bauer won calf roping. Wade Berg was bull riding. So a lot of success out of the rodeo team, which is great to see. So.
Leichenbeis, is that how you say her name? I'm not sure. Sorry if I messed that up. And Morgan Foss also won breakaway, which is really exciting. I mean, that's a big weekend for the Hawks coming back, their first rodeo in the spring. So.
Yes, and it's early
good
yet,
showing.
so everyone's going to improve. And
yeah, and then they're headed to Lincoln, Nebraska this weekend. So. Their results are not on the Blue Hawk website, but like Gunnar said, if you go to Dickinson State Rodeo on Facebook, they're posting all their results there.
And every team score from schedule to results to rosters are available at dsubluehawks.com, so you can always stay updated on Blue Hawk athletics.
Yeah,
So.
and if you missed this, we are also posting our episodes on our Twitter page, DSU Heritage Fund, and on Instagram at DSU Heritage, or is it at DSU Heritage Foundation?
So perfect. Well, no, exciting week for the Hawks, and a lot of events coming up, and it's going to be exciting to see how everybody wraps up their spring seasons.
Yeah, so thanks to the Heritage Foundation for sponsoring this show, and thank you to our guests today. You can see who's on next week, same time next week. Catch us with our new guests. And with that,
Always,
Hawks are up.